next year is 30 years for Dwarven Forge, actually, because you started in 96. What do you find that terrain design still scratches the fine art itch that you have?
I mean, it was always just something I wanted. I'd love to play D&D, and I was
Yeah.
frustrated that they didn't have any terrain to do it, to put the miniatures in. I was getting the miniatures and painting them, and then we would put them on graph paper. And I was like, this is so lame. We need environments. And they were like, but I don't want to buy one. They had a few you could buy, but I'm like, but then it's always the same one. So I was thinking, how can we make this? It's got to be modular. And so I went to the drawing board, and it was like, I had to figure something out here. I mean, maybe little sections. And then there it was. It was first I did out of cardboard, and we did little two-dimensional cardboard sections, and it was like, oh no, I gotta have passageways, I gotta have walls. I even made a small little castle with different levels. I played with a lot of cardboard, and then I was like, what am I doing with cardboard? I'm a sculptor. I should just sculpt these things out of clay, you know?
Use what
And
you know.
so that's what we did. And I didn't know how to do it miniatures, because I never tried anything miniature. So so I went uh, to England to study with a girl, Hillary. Yeah, Hillary, and she was sculpting English houses. They
Really?
love to collect little English houses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I went and I stayed at her house. We she sent first a thing saying, "Oh, here's an example." And I was like, "No, no, that's not really what I'm imagining. That's not, uh, you know." What if I were to come over there, Hillary, and stay at your house, and we could work together on this, and you could teach me, and you could. And incredibly, she was like, "Okay." So I went over there. She was married, and then I guess the husband's fine if it. I stayed at their house, and every day I go in the workshop, and she would show me how. I said, I want to make this wall. I want to do this thing. And so we did
Mm-hmm.
trial and error, and we came up with a design, a way to do it. And I learned the ropes.